Good day, ma'am. Good day, everyone. I am Vina Apilado from Tri Delta, and I will be discussing the Chapter 12 in one module, which is the gunpowder and explosives. So, in the context, in investigation of crime involving the use of firearms, there are several things to consider or need to be determined. So, number one is the whether a firearm is fired or not, or yung isang baril is pinutok, and number two, whether a person fired a gun or not, or yung isang tao is nagpaputok ba ng baril or hindi, and number three, probable gunshot range. So, when a firearm is discharged, unburned particles of the gunpowder may escape through the breech of the gun and deposited on the hand of fire, also on the clothing of the victim, sa damit mismo ng biktima, and meron ding maiiwan sa barrel mismo ng ipinutok na barel. So, with that, this gunpowder residue can determine by the use of chemical examination. And that's the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah Salcedo and I'm going to share about the classification of gunpowder. The first one is the black powder, possibly the oldest known explosive. It is a mixture of 75% potassium nitrate, 15% charcoal, and 10% sulfur. Itong klase ng black powder na ito, ginagamit siya sa mga lumang barel at ginagamit din ito sa mga paputok. At maraming usok yung lumalabas kasi kapag pumutok ito, kaya mabilis lang ma-determine kung saan nanggaling yung putok. At nakaka-apekto din ito sa kalinisan ng baril kasi nag-iiwan ito ng dumi or residue. Yung second one naman is yung smokeless powder. It is the most widely used propellant. Mas modern itong smokeless powder. Parang ito yung ginagamit ngayon sa mga recent na mga bagong baril. At ito naman, binubuo siya ng nitrocellulose and nitroglycerin. Tinawag siyang smokeless dahil kaunti lang yung usok na lumalabas kapag ito ay sumabog. And mas malinis naman itong smokeless powder na ito kapag ito yung ginamit sa baril, na mas nagbibigay ng matatag at mas malakas na pwersa. Yung difference naman ng black powder and smokeless powder is mas effective yung smokeless powder at mas safe siya. Mas effective at mas safe yung smokeless powder kaysa sa black powder, at mas controlled ang smokeless powder kaysa sa black powder. And lastly, mas malakas ang smokeless powder kaysa sa black powder. Salamat!
Good day everyone, my name is Rishane Rivera and I'm going to discuss the classification of explosions. So, number one, we have the mechanical. Mechanical, it is explosions caused by expansion of gas producing high pressure beyond the capacity of the container. So, eto, nagkakaroon lang ng mechanical explosion sa loob ng isang tangke kapag puno na ng pressure ng gas yung lalagyan, yung mismong tangke. Bumibigay siya syempre dahil malakas na yung energy, yung pressure sa loob, kaya nagkakaroon ng pagsabog. Number 2 is atomic. Atomic is the explosions that result from atomic or nuclear transformation. Ang nuclear is malakas na energy na nagpupush para sumabog. So, ang pagsabog ay nagmula sa isang atomic reaction. So, kapag sumasabog ito, nagkakaroon siya ng malawak na epekto at saka madami din siyang kasamang radiation na umaabot siya sa malayong lugar kapag sumabog.
For the last classification of the explosions, we have here a chemical explosions. Chemical explosions occur when a rapid chemical reaction releases a large amount of energy, often producing a shock wave and loud noise. This reaction typically involves a combustible material reacting with an oxidizer, producing gases that expand rapidly. Some examples of a chemical explosion are TNT, gasoline or propane combustion in confined spaces, and the last one is chemical plant accidents. And for the classification of explosives, the speed of a chemical reaction of detonation of the explosive determines the classification of explosive, as the first one is propellants or low explosives, slow burning explosive and are used mainly as propellants. Speed is about 50 seconds. Shattering effect is controllable. And some example for the propellants or low explosive are the smokeless powder and black powder.
Good morning everyone. My name is Rael Arcortel. The next one, B, high explosives. Have very high rate of decomposition. Mabilis ang pagkasira sa chemical kaya mabilis sumabog. Shattering effects is intense. Matindi ang pinsala kaya kayang durugin kahit matitibay na bagay. Ordinarily initiated by shock. Kadalasang pinapaputok gamit ang biglang puwersa gaya ng pagkabigla or shock. The speed of detonation is 3,000 to 8,000 ms. Napakabilis na pagsabog. Explosion is uncontrollable. Hindi mapipigilan ang pagsabog kapag nagsimula na ito. Products of explosion travels in the same direction as the detonation wave. Kasabay sa pagsabog ang paggalaw ng mga produkto nito. Samples: trinitrotoluene, most widely used explosives. Ammonium nitrate, chemical na ginagamit din sa pagsabog. Dynamite, made by mixing nitroglycerin with powdered clay or sawdust. Nitroglycerin, oil liquid that is very dangerous because the slightest shake will cause it to explode. Plastic explosives, a military explosive that looks like a modeling clay. And next, C, primary or initiating explosives, extremely sensitive to detonation by heat, shock, friction, and impact. Detonate without burning. Example: lead acid and mercury fulminate. Lead acid and mercury fulminate, pareho silang ginagamit pagpasimula ng pagsabog pero hindi sa malaki ang pagsabog mismo. Napakasensitibo nito kaya kailangan na mag-ingat.
Hello everyone, I am Sarah May and today I will be discussing the other classification of explosive. So the first one is the C4, referred to as plastic explosive. C4 stands for composition 4. Ito ay karaniwang ginagamit ng mga military sa demolition, metal cutting, and underwater operation. Ginagamit din ito ng terorista sa pag-atake. The next one is the RDX or the Royal Demolition Explosive, known as Hexagen. Isang uri ng malakas na pampasabog ng mga military. Ito ay pangunahing sangkap kagaya ng C4. And the last one is the chemical instability. Ito ay uri ng chemical na hindi masyadong malakas. Uri ng pampasabog na hindi masyadong malakas.
I'm Flora Banes, so I'm gonna report the criteria of an explosive to have chemical reaction. The second one is oxygen. This is needed for burning. In explosives, oxygen usually comes from chemicals like chlorates or nitrates. The third one is fuel. This is substance that burns using the oxygen. It contains elements like carbon and hydrogen. During explosion, the fuel burns and forms oxides, releasing energy.
Good day everyone, I'm Labrinto Gerald and I will discuss today is the method of examinations of residue. So, A is the paraffin test or also known as dipylamine test, thermal nitrate test. a test to determine whether a person fired a gun or not which bare hand. So, it is a forensic procedures para malaman natin if a person has recently fired a firearm which bare hands. That test is based on the detections of nitrate and nitrite compounds which are typically present sa mga gunpowder residue. Procedure A is the paraffin test. Paraffin test, taking the cast of extract the nitrates embed in the skin. So, dito is yung ilalagay na natin yung wax sa kamay natin, but make sure na bago ilagay is malinis yung kamay.
Okay, next, the diethylamine test. The chemical aspect of the test determines the presence and distribution of the nitrates. Diethylamine is an organic compound used as a stabilizer in explosive and propellants, and also as an antioxidant in various industries applications. Visible result. Deep blue specks. The specks are generally located on the area of the thumb and forefingers. Note, the blue color that appears indicate the reaction of the nitrate with diethylamine reagent. These nitrates from the other source like fertilizers will give the same reaction. Other substances similar to nitrates known as oxide will also react with the reagent in the same way. Thus, the location and character of the specks are considered to eliminate the other possible sources of oxidizers. Next, gunpowder residue test. The diethylamine reagent is also applied to cotton swabbing of the barrel and the chambers of the gun to determine if the firearm was fired. A deep blue color resulting from the reaction of nitrates with the reagent indicates presence of the gunpowder residue. The gunpowder residue test detects particles left on hands or clothing after firing a firearm, helping to investigate firearm.
Good day everyone, my name is Christian Pangilinan, and today I'm going to discuss the method of examination of residue, which is the gunshot range determination and the explosive analysis. Gunshot range determination, which is when the gun is discharged, gunpowder residue may also be deposited on the clothing of the victim. The size and density of the pattern of gunpowder residue found on the clothing are main factors considered in determining the approximate distance of the firer to the victim. As the distance to the victim increases, the size and density of the pattern decreases. Gunshot range determination ay isang forensics process na naglalayong tuklasan kung gaano kalayo ang baril sa biktima o target ng isang pagbaril. Paano ito ginagawa? Ang test firing ay ginagawa na kung saan ang baril ay sinasapa ng pagsusuri sa iba't ibang distansya upang makumpara ang mga pattern ng gunshot residue na lumabas sa test firing ng mga pattern na makikita sa biktima o target. Ang mga forensic scientists ay gumagamit ng mga chemical at test upang makita ang mga gunshot residue na nasa target. Ang pattern ng mga gunshot residue ay ginagamit upang matuklasan ang distansya sa pagitan ng baril at target. Bakit ito mahalaga? Ang gunshot range determination ay mahalaga sa pagsusuri ng mga crime scene, lalo na kung ang baril ay ginamit. Ito ay maaaring makatulong upang matuklasan ang uri ng kaganapan tulad ng suicide, self-defense, o homicide. And next is the explosive analysis. Ang explosive analysis ay tumutukoy sa proseso ng pag-iimbestiga sa mga explosive upang makilala ang uri, composition, at pinagmulan nito. Ginagamitan ito upang tuklasin ang mga salik na nagdudulot ng pag-explode, gayon din ang mga patunay sa mga kaganapan na may kaugnayan sa explosive. Ito ay mahalaga sa forensic science at iba pang mga pag-aaral para sa pagsusuri ng mga kaganapan na may kaugnayan sa mga explosive.